Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to part 4 of my series of Smugmug tutorials. In this video, we are going to look at how you can sell your photos through Smugmug. Now, this tutorial will actually be in two parts. In part 1, I'll show you how you can sell your photos directly through Smugmug using Smugmug's own sales and fulfillment service. In part 2, I'll show you how you can sell your photos through Smugmug using a third-party print-on-demand, or pod as they are called. Now, the reason I'm splitting it into two is if you want to avail of Smugmug's own sales and fulfillment service, then you need to have at least the portfolio plan here, or the pro plan. If you have a basic or power plan, then you cannot do that. If you see down here, the portfolio plan includes integrated sales and fulfillment tools, and the pro plan includes all of that, marketing, promotions, a whole bunch of other stuff. Whereas the power plan and the previous plan do not include the integrated sales and fulfillment tools. You can purchase your own photos, but you can't integrate that and make your photos available for sale to the public. So you need at least the portfolio plan for this. But as I said, if you don't have this, if you can't afford the portfolio or pro plan because they are a bit more expensive, then there is another way to do it, which I'll show in the second video. Okay, so to get started, if you have, as I say, the portfolio or pro plan, then when you log into Smugmug and go to the back end, to your dashboard, you will see at the top here, selling tools. So if we click on selling tools, then it takes you to that section. Now, sales history, this is something that you will look at and hopefully start to see results in once you've set everything up. But basically, any sales that you make through Smugmug will appear here, the sales to date, profit to date, and everything. And you can manage how that's shown. But to get started, the first thing you want to do is set up a price list, because obviously you want to price your photos. And you have control over the pricing of your photos. Smugmug don't decide. Smugmug do have a base price, but then you can set your own markup there and decide how much you want to earn for your photos. So to do that, click Manage. And here, if you have any price lists already, you'll see the list of price lists. If you've just set it up, then you'll see only this starter price list using Smugmug's recommendations. Now you can use that straight away, or you can basically click this and you can go and edit that, change it if you want, or you can create a totally new price list. Now you can set up with the portfolio plan, you can set up as many price lists as you want, but you can only have one price list active at a time. Now, why would you want to do that, you may ask? Well, you may want to set a standard price list, and you may want to set a special price list, maybe with discounted prices, for holiday seasons or promotional times. You may want to set a price list. Obviously, there are times of the year running up to Christmas where business is better, and you may want to set a price list. You may want to increase your prices a bit around that time. So the ideal way, rather than keep going in and modifying your price lists, is to have several price lists and just activate each price list when you want to set those prices. So we go up here to create new, to create a brand new price list. So the first thing you do is give it a name. So whatever you want to call it, I'll just call it price list 2. And here you choose your lab. If we click this button here, now Smugmug work with 4 different labs. So depending on your location, you may want to choose the lab that's appropriate to you. So if you're in the US, you've got a choice of the Bay Photo Lab in California, this lab in Minnesota, this one in Georgia, or if, like me, you're based in the UK, then you can use Loxley Colour in Scotland. Now, Loxley Colour are an excellent printing lab. I'm based in the UK. I would say the vast majority of my sales would be in the UK, but not necessarily. But even if you choose Loxley Colour, they will still ship and sell your photos around the world. You're not limited to selling in the UK, and consequently, of course, you're not limited to selling in the US if you choose a US based lab to fulfill your orders. So you can choose whichever one you want. Next is to set the currency. So you can choose any of these currencies, of course. So again, if you're a US based photographer, your business is based in the US, you're going to choose US dollars. My business is based in the UK, so I'm going to choose pound sterling. Color correction. Now you can choose here to turn this on or off. What that basically means is that the lab will do some color correction when printing. If you don't want them to do that, then you simply turn that off, and then they won't do any color correction and they will just print and sell. Suggested pricing. Now you can turn this on, and then it will create a price list, or a list of suggested prices, pretty much the same as its example price list. Or you can turn that off and then just start with a default profit. Now your profit is set in a percentage. So as I said, all products will have a base price. That will be the price that Smugmug and the fulfillment lab will charge. And then you can set your profit on top of that. So anything on top of that is what you will make. And you can set that here. You can set a default profit in the form of a percentage. So you can start with maybe 100%. So if the base price of a small print is 50 pence, you will get 50 pence on top of that, and the price to the customer will be £1. Simple as that. Down here you can set a roundup price, and the idea of that basically is that if, for example, the base price is 60 and you set 100% markup, then that will come to £1.20, and you can round that up. Now you can choose to not round it, so the price will simply be £1.20, or you can choose to round it up, say to 95, and then the price will be £1.95. Okay, if you round up, then you as the photographer will get that extra. Nobody else. Smugmug won't get it, the printers won't get it, you will get it. So if the base price is 60 pence, you choose a markup of 95, so the price is 195, then you will get 195 minus 60. So you will get 135, if my maths is correct. Okay, so decide for yourself if you want to round up prices. If you don't want to round up prices, don't round. If you want to round them to the nearest zero, you can do that. So you've got options here. Okay, let's set that for now just to 95 as an example. Once all that's done, click create, and it will create your new price list. The price list is empty because we need to choose what products you want to make available for sale. So by clicking choose products, we can now go down this list here. So these are all the product groups, and by expanding each product group you can choose if you want to sell them or not. If you don't want to make something available, then you just leave it unticked, and then it won't be shown for sale next to your photo. If you click it, then that product will be made available for sale next to your photo. So if you click the first one, it selects everything, and here you can individually untick some products you don't want to make available, for example. So let's tick those back. So in the case of downloads, so you can make your pictures available for people to download the files. So you've got two choices. You've got a personal photo license, so people can choose to buy your photo for personal use, personal non-commercial use. And you can choose to allow them to download an entire gallery, so they can purchase and download an entire gallery of photos. They can download a print marked gallery, so I'll show you what the print marking is later. They can download a single photo, so you can make a single photo available for download, and again a print marked single photo. And these are the sizes that you can choose to make available. So web size, low res, high-res. A high-res photo, I think, will be typically something around about 4 meg, but it won't be the full size photo that you have. Or you can choose to make the original available. So if your original photo is a 30 megapixel photo, then you can choose that the person can purchase and download the full 30 megapixel photo. Now, I personally, for personal use, would not make that available, because if somebody buys and downloads your full-size photo, then they can make all sorts of prints with it themselves. So I wouldn't do that myself, but it's entirely up to you. Of course, you can set the prices on this, so if you want to make it available, then you can set a high price for it. You can set whatever price you want. We'll see that in a minute. Now, if you don't want to make a gallery available, you just simply uncheck all of those, and then the galleries are not available for download, only single photos. Okay, so it's completely customizable what you make available. Download here, commercial license. So this is different. This would be somebody purchasing a license to use your photo commercially in advertising, in editorial, and whatever. So again, you can set the price accordingly. For something like this, you would set a higher price, of course you would. Same again, tick products and choose what you want to make available. Now, for a commercial photo license, I would make the original available, because if somebody is buying something to use for advertising, they may want to print it really big, they may want to display it really big, so they're very likely going to want the largest file available. So I would make that available here, but for a personal license, I wouldn't make that available. But that's my choice, of course. You can do whatever you like. Download, personal video license. So if you have video content you want to sell, you could make that available. Commercial, again, personal, commercial video license. These are the two choices. Now down here we come to our prints. So these are all the print options we have. Paper prints, again, I would select them all. And again, if you don't want to make certain sizes or certain types available, you just untick it. I would personally, again, I'm in the business of selling prints. I want to make all print types available. Now, print type square sizes, you can choose. If you don't want people to buy square size prints, then just leave it unticked. But I will make it available. Wall art canvas, edge prints. Now, any time you can come back in and edit this. So if you decide at some point you don't want to sell something, you can come in and untick it. If you decide that you do want to sell something you haven't previously made available, then you can come in and tick it. So you can change this at any time. All art. Keepsakes. This is something sometimes people don't want to make available. You can buy your pictures on mugs, fridge magnets, mouse pads, whatever. So I'll tick that too. So once that's done, you click done, and now all of your options are now available in the price list. So down here you can see you've got your default base price at 100%, your roundup formulated prices to 95 pence in my case. Now what you can do is, for example, go to paper prints, select a print size, and down here you can see the options. So this is your base price, 52 pence for a 6x4 inch luster print. The base price is 52 pence. So that is what Smugmug and the printing lab will charge. Okay, that's what will go to them. Your markup is 100%. So I've said 100% markup. So that means then that my profit will be 52 pence. So I will get 52 pence for that sale. But because I've set my roundup to 95, the price to the consumer is not £1.04, it's £1.95. Okay, so again, as I said, if you round it up, then your profit will be a little higher than 52 pence, sorry. Okay, now if you don't want to do that, especially for small products, now that will, as I say, this is applied to the whole price list, but you can change things at the individual level. You can do it in two ways. You can change it at the product group level. So if I decide here I don't want to round up, then I just tick don't round up. Now you see the final price has changed to £1.13, not £1.04. So obviously there's a little bit more of a markup there, but still it's not £1.95. So if you decide that you don't want to round up the small prints, then you can change it at the group level. If you decide you want a higher profit for the small prints, if you think 52p is not enough, then you can change again at the group level to 200%. Now I can earn £1.04 for a small print if I want. Okay. If you change your mind, just simply erase that, turn that back to 95, and everything gets set back to its original. So you can change at the product group level, but you can also change at the individual level. So again, if I want to change just here, if I want to make a luster 6x4 print slightly, if I want to get a slightly bigger profit for it, then I can change that to 70. Oh, well, I don't want to earn £70, so I want to make that 0.70. Now I can get 70p. Now you see that's highlighted in green. I could make that 65p if I want, and I can make that 80p. Now you see the prices here haven't changed because they're set to round up. So if I can change that to, sorry, I can set my roundup price rather here. So maybe I can make that available for £1.12, and I'll get 51p. If I click that button, everything gets reset. Okay. Or again, I just go up here, I don't round up, then I can set my individual prices like this, and they won't be round up. So that's probably the easiest way to do that. So we can do that same thing. We can come up here to the bigger prints, and we may think that for a 40x30 print, £33, this is not enough. If I change my default price to 400, that will send the markup up by 4 times across all of the print types. So again, if I just want to change the pricing for the larger prints, if I want to earn more for that, I can just come down here and I can say no, I want £60 for that, £60 for that, £60 for that. There again, they're not rounded up here because I've switched it off at the group level. So I've selected the don't round up option for the group level. But if we go down here to the next product group, you'll see that we're still rounding up because it hasn't affected the other group ones. So if I want to do that, then I want to do it here at the group level. Okay, so that's it. You can go through each product group and you can individually change the markup percentage at the group level, the rounding up, or you can change your markup on a specific product type, size, individually. Now, one thing I will say, if you have chosen the download option, you don't want to accept that if you've set a markup of 100%, for example, you don't want to just leave it, because the base price of a download is very, very small, because there's no big cost to Smugmug, and there's no printing involved, is there? Of course, so there's no material cost or anything. So the base price to Smugmug is very, very small. And if you only leave it at 100%, then you're not going to make much money for your downloads. So this is a section where you really do want to go through and set everything individually. So for example, for web size, you may want to say I want £25 for a web size download. For a low res, I want £40, and for a high res, I want £60. But this is for the whole gallery as well, remember? So and now I may want to think, and if you change your mind, you can always delete. Yeah, quite simply. So a print marked gallery. So I may decide, okay, I will allow someone to download a print marked gallery. Okay, so for a whole gallery of photos, I'm gonna want, say, £80 for this. For low res, £100, because and high res, 140 perhaps. For a single photo, okay, slightly different. So for a single photo for web size, I may say £25 for that, a low res £40, and a high res, let's say £70. These are non-commercial use, remember. If we go to the, so you're going to want to do that on all of the products you've got available. Okay, so print marked single photo, you can make that the same if you want, or even less perhaps. Yeah, you can make that slightly 20. If you're allowing them to put your name on the photo, you might want to charge a little less. It's entirely up to you. Yeah. Now, each time you make a change, remember to click Apply Changes, so they're saved, so you don't lose them. And we can go back and continue editing. So now we're going to the commercial downloads, and the same thing here. We've got these options available. So again, your default 71 pence. Do you really want somebody to pay 71 or £1.95 and download an entire gallery of photos for commercial use? Of course you don't. So you really want to make sure you go in and set these individually. So for a whole gallery, maybe web size you'll charge 50, low res 70. These are just examples off the top of my head. 100 perhaps, and if you want the original, maybe 250 or more. It depends how big your galleries are going to be. It's entirely up to you. Or you can delete them if you decide in the end you don't want to make these available. Well, you can delete them and just do a single photo option. Okay, so for web use again, for commercial I might say 50, low res 70, high res 100, original 250. Okay, now again, print marked photos, if somebody wants to buy it for commercial use but with your print mark on, then that would be your name or something, or your logo down in the corner. So again, maybe you'd want to charge a little less for that, or not. It's entirely up to you. But there would be no advantage to buying the print marked photo over the non-print marked photo if the price is the same. 90 and say 230. Okay, again, make sure you apply changes whenever you do anything like this. And that's that. Yeah, so it's quite simple really how it's all done. When everything is set up, now again, at any time you can change this default here. If you want to increase that to 200 to 300, if you want to turn off rounding up or change how you round up your prices, you can do that at any time. And you can also untick if you change your mind about color correction here and here. So As I said, you can have multiple price lists, but you can only have one price list active at a time. So if this is unticked, this means that this price list won't be active. So if you want to make this your active price list, you simply tick this button and you'll get a little star next to it here. Go back down again, apply changes, and that's done. If we go back up here, account settings, manage price list, if we tick this, we'll go back to our list of price lists. And now you can see that the one you've created, price list 2, has a star next to it, indicating that this is the active price list. Now if we go back to selling tools, and now I mentioned earlier about if we go to branding, I mentioned earlier about print marks. So if we click here for manage print marks, this is how we could set up a print mark on our photo. So you'll see here that as soon as you open this, if you haven't set up a print mark, it will say no print marks exist. So click create, and here you can create your print mark. So you can have a simple text print mark, so with your name essentially, and you don't want to have it up here, of course. This is going to appear on the final print, so the last thing you want is to stick it right at the top of the picture where it's going to obscure the picture. If someone's going to pay a lot of money for a print of your photo, the last thing they would want is your name right across the middle of it. So you want to put it, if you are going to do it, I personally don't put these on, but it's entirely up to you. Many people do. So you want to put it ideally bottom right, somewhere where it's unobtrusive, out of the way. But you can select here, top right, top left, bottom right, wherever. So I personally think the bottom right is the best option if you are going to put a print mark here. Now this is very useful, this fade option, so you can kind of make it slightly opaque so it's not standing out, you know. It's kind of subtle down there in the corner. If people look harder they can see it and they can see who the photographer is, but it doesn't jump out at you and it doesn't detract from the image itself. So I think that's quite a very good feature actually. Here is just giving the print mark a name, so you can call it your logo, for example. Here you can change the font and the text color, or if you come up here you can select image, and in which case you can, if you have a logo, if you want a picture of yourself down there, but typically a logo would be something you would use this for. So you can choose from Smugmug. If we click this, for example, if we go here, if you've already got a logo uploaded here, then you could choose this. Here is my logo here, so I could select this, click done, and then my logo will appear down here in the corner. So if I wanted to put my logo there, I could do. If you don't have one already uploaded, then you can just simply click this to upload a new logo or photo. So that's how you set up your print marks. And when that's all set up, you click create, and that's done. So that's relatively simple. If we go back to account settings, go to business. In business you'll find your options, all the other options we've looked at: branding, selling, finances, payment history. So the selling is where we've looked at the price lists. Branding is where you set up your print marks, and there's also an option to set up back printing. Now if we click this, back printing is on some smaller prints you can opt to have some text written on the back of the print itself. So if you want to write a message to the buyer, thank you for purchasing my product, check out my website, blah blah blah, you can write this in here and make that available. Okay, so that's quite a useful option. Watermarks. Here you can set up watermarks. Now watermarks don't appear on the prints, but they do appear on your photos on the website. So that's quite a useful way of protecting your image, if you like. We saw in a previous video you can also disable the right click function, so nobody can right click and save your photo. But if you want people to do that, sometimes a lot of people do say that you mustn't do that. Well, you know, if you're selling your photos commercially and you're going to have picture editors from magazines, newspapers, graphic designers, they're all looking for photos. And typically what they do is when they go looking at a whole bunch of photos, and they may shortlist a bunch of photos that they are considering using, and they will want to download a low-res sample, and they'll typically right click and download and save that, and they'll put all of those photos into a mock-up, and they'll change them around, and they will finally decide on the one that they want to use. Okay, so if you haven't allowed them to do that, then they'll just go and choose another photo. They won't muck around. Maybe if your photo is that good, they'll try and get in touch with you for a sample, but in many cases they may just move on, and you could potentially lose a sale if you do that. So what I would suggest is that you allow this to the people to right click and download, but if you put a watermark down here, it will always remind the potential buyer where they got that photo. Because it can happen that they could download a whole bunch of photos, and then when they finally decide on the one, oh no, where did I find that one? So if your logo is down there in the corner, not splashed across the image, because then they can't see the image properly. Okay, so put it down there in the corner. It's out of the way, it's unobtrusive, but they can still see the picture, and they can still make a decision on whether they want to use that picture in their magazine or newspaper or artwork or whatever. And if they decide to use your picture, there's a gentle reminder down there of where they got it and where they need to go in order to get the high-res version from you, and also get a price. So it's a useful feature, and you can make that available. Okay, so again, create, go down here, do what you need to do, and go back to selling tools here. So there are our options. Finances is quite simple really. If you're going to sell through Smugmug, then you need to give Smugmug all of your tax, business information, and all the details that they need in order to pay you your royalties. So you need to do all of that, of course. So that's it. Once you've set up your price list, you've set up your information and done your branding and all the things that you want to do, then you'll see that if we go to the photo site, your images are immediately available for sale. So if we click here and go to a gallery, you can see that automatically I've got a buy photos option here on the header image of my gallery. So people can click buy photos, and they will be taken to a purchase page for that gallery. Now you'll see up here, if you're logged in, owner, catalog and prices. So what that means is that the prices that you will see will be the prices without your markup, because you can purchase your own photos, and of course you can purchase it without your markup, so you can purchase it at the base price. So if you're logged in, you're going to see that. So if we close this, if we log out, then we can view all our prices at the price that it will be for the customer. So again, if we click that one, they can browse a gallery, and they can actually select multiple photos, or even select them all if they want. So if a customer wants to buy these 5 photos, they can select all 5. If they want to buy them as a download, as a commercial license, original, that's going to be the price for all 5 photos. Or high-res version, or web size. If we untick that, obviously the price goes down. So they can view as a gallery. They can view images individually like this. We close that. Or they can scroll down, continue to scroll down looking through your gallery, and then decide that I want to buy this photo, so they'll click that again. They'll come up with the buy this photo, and in this case the options will be available for that individual photo. Okay. If we go to wall art, if you want to buy a canvas, then they can choose the canvas sizes, so you can choose, so this is quite good as well. If you want to buy a square version, the customer can customize, so they can move this around to choose where they want this to be positioned. So if they buy a square version, the last thing they want is something like this, so they can move it around to buy a square version that looks like this, and they'll see how it will look when printed. Same thing as we go back to framed. If a customer chooses a size, they can choose a black box, and this will be the price. They can choose with whatever this is. So there are many different types available, different sizes available, and it's very simple for a person to buy. So if they choose that they want to buy a 20 by 20 box frame mounted print black box, they want to buy one, they'll simply position it like so, add to cart, go to shopping cart, make the purchase. Now the great thing about this, of course, is that you don't have to get involved at all. Once it's set up, Smugmug will take care of everything. They will take the payment from the customer, they will send the high-res photo to the print lab to be printed, the print lab will print, manufacture the product and ship it directly to the customer, and then you will get pinged with a notification that you have made a sale and this is how much you have made. It's as simple as that. And then of course I don't know how they process their payments, monthly or whenever, but then of course you will then get paid. So it's really that easy. You don't have to do anything. Once you've got everything set up, you don't have to do anything. Once you've got your price list set up, it's all done. And then after that, each time you upload new photos, create new galleries, everything is immediately made available for sale, unless you decide that you don't want to. So now I'll show you how you can choose to make some photos available for sale and some not available for sale. So now we're now logged in again and back into our dashboard, and you have to go to organize, and here you have all of the galleries that you have created. Now what you do is select a gallery, go to settings, and here to shopping. Now you'll see by default everything is made available for sale. So if, for example, you want to say that this gallery, Seascapes, I don't want to make available for sale, you just simply go, select that gallery, go into the gallery settings, come up here to visit a shopping cart and turn it off. And then when you do that, anyone who visits that gallery will not have the option to purchase. It's that simple. So if you have photos that you don't want to sell, then you need to put them into their own gallery and then turn off the shopping cart option for that gallery. Shop view, if we select that, obviously that draws attention to the fact that people can purchase this. If you don't want to make it so obvious, you can turn that off. But if you're going to sell your photos, then you want to make it quite obvious to people and encourage them to purchase. So you want to keep that on for sure. Proof delay is an option to delay the purchase to allow you to proof it first. So you can turn that on or off. Print mark, as we just saw, if you want for this gallery to turn the print mark on and off. So you could set up two different galleries. You could have a gallery with no print mark and a gallery with a print mark. And again, as I said, you can set separate prices if you want to. So here you can, if you click this, if you set up a print mark like we already have, it will appear here. So for that gallery, I could choose to set the print mark with that logo. Now you can set up several different print marks if you want, and they'll all appear here, and you can choose the one you want to set, or again, you can choose none. Again, back printing, here you can type in up to 40 characters the little message that you want to have printed on the back of your smaller prints. So you can set that up here on a gallery level. So that's it really. And you can, if you want to, give this a name and save it, and then also tick to use that as your default gallery if you want, your default settings, sorry. And once that's done, you just click save. So you can choose, as I say, whichever galleries you want to make available for sale. You can select them at a gallery level. You can't select them, as far as I can see, you can't select them on a photo level. So if there are particular photos you don't want to make available for sale, then you ideally want to put them in there in a separate gallery, which I think is a good idea really, because if someone's browsing a gallery and you've seen at the top of the gallery that photos are for sale, if they choose the photo they like and then find that that particular photo's not available for sale, they're going to be a bit annoyed. So it's much better, if you are going to have a select number of photos you don't want for sale, that they should be in their own gallery, and sales for that gallery is turned off, so that when the person visits that gallery, they're not given the idea that they can purchase any photo in that gallery. So thanks for watching. Hope you found this useful as always, and as I said, in part 2 I'll show you how you can set this up using a third-party pod or print-on-demand company if you cannot or do not want to purchase the portfolio or pro plans with Smugmug. It's a little bit more complicated, takes a lot more work of course, but it will save you money. If you're not already a customer of Smugmug and you are interested in joining, you can sign up to Smugmug for a 14-day trial, and after that trial you have the option to purchase a plan or not. It's entirely up to you. There's no obligation to it whatsoever. Now, I'm an affiliate of Smugmug, so as an affiliate I can offer you a 15% discount should you decide to take up one of the plans. So all you need to do is go down into the description, click my affiliate link. The discount is automatically applied, so you don't need to enter a code or anything. Sign up for your 14-day free trial, and at the end of that trial, if you don't want to continue, you can just simply leave it. There's no obligation, no credit card details are collected, and that's it. If you do decide you want to sign up for a plan, then that 15% discount is automatically applied. Okay, so thanks for watching, and hope you found this useful. If you did, please give this video a like. If you haven't subscribed, I'd be really grateful if you do subscribe, and check out some of my other videos. As I said, this is the 4th in the series of Smugmug videos. In the first one I showed you how to upload your photos, set up photo galleries. In the second 2 I'm showing you how to put your website together, and in this one I've shown you how to sell your photos. Okay, so thanks again, and catch you later.